I think that's pretty decent. I want to ask you to just go back down to where you started. I think it was a low C. Yep,
Low
again,
C.
please. Hey. Quacking me. Hyper compressed, super weird, super ugly. Come in with a thinned out position, cry into it, whimper into it, and we got all right, you turn, let's go. Amplify the vowel. Good. Yep. Yes. There you go. Let's get better. That's better. Workflow. Whimper, compression, forward, and all right, hey. You're doing great. I'm seeing a big improvement. That is not that's like twice. That's like 2 times more compression than adduction than we were getting in previous weeks.
I've been practicing every day, pretty much almost every day. So hopefully it is improving.
Well, I'm here to validate for you that it is. I hope you realize that it's important. Yeah. We don't get as much from the progress if you yourself aren't feeling it and realizing it. You realize this, right?
I definitely noticed it, yeah. I definitely noticed it.
Fantastic.
I've been moving on to doing those new things like the strength building.
Yeah.
I think maybe what I've done before is going to suffer because I'm, working on a slightly different aspect of singing. So, yeah, cool.
No, hey, it's very cool. Like, it seems it's just one little note. It's one note, but inside that movement is a world of progress and a world of vocal health and a world of motor skills that are moving that we need to get going, not only for singing but for speaking. All right, let's go back to this last onset you just did. What was it?
G, I think it
was a G. It sounded like a G to me. Now, do not release the resonance into an sort of a dark and heavy. Let's get it bright, ringy, singy, pingy. Steak and eggs, please. Here's what we're getting. That's all pretty good on the compression, the adduction, sort of the main point. But we also need an embouchure. We need a super embouchure, monsieur. Okay, so so here's kind of what we're getting. It's why we're kind of getting a non-vowel. All right, we're getting just like a swirl of gray. What we want is I'll be sure, please drop your jaw a little more. Steak and eggs, not stick and eggs. Go, keep going, that's it. Oh yeah, baby. Thinking workflow, good, keep going. Time. That was your best note so far, middle C. And hey, do it again, please. That was a little bit stuck in Uggs. It wasn't steak and eggs, but I loved the compression and wow. I think I'm more excited about it than you are, because as the coach, I can see further through the forest where this is going.
Yeah, sure you can.
Like you don't, like you have a really good idea, but you don't see everything where this is going. I do. And if you could see what I could see for you, you'd be as excited as me. If that makes any sense. All right, give me another middle C, please. And give me eggs, please. Eggs. Boom. I'm going to split hairs. The better you get, the more picky and grumpy I get.
Okay, that's cool.
That was not eggs. That was Uggs. Do that again. Give me. So your compression. The bigger point is very nice. We need. Yeah. I want a better vowel. That's it.
I think I'm just not dropping my jaw enough. I think that's what it is. When I drop my jaw more, I get more of that. What you want?
Well, no. It's what we want. Okay, and let's use the right talk track. Okay, so you're talking about tongue, teeth, lip, straw, all that. What are you really talking about? What do we call this? The
correct embouchure.
That's really shitty French, but I'll take it.
Embouchure.
I've had French students try to teach me to do it right, and they're very offended. They're like, yeah. That's not how you say embouchure. And I'm like, okay, show me how. And they go, embouchure. And I look them right dead in the eye, and I go, embouchure. And they go, it's still not right. If you have any French friends, you kind of get the joke. Okay. It's never good enough. That was, I'm splitting hairs, so that was, it's good. I'll give you an A-. That was, excuse me. I'm not warmed up. That was, sort of a hybrid between and A. We need steak and eggs.
Try again.
Hey, good. Give me eggs, not Uggs. Eggs.
Yeah.
That's it. Hey, your whimper, your cry mode, and your weird cracky me, your hyper compression is really good.
Thanks.
They're struggling a little bit with the vowel.
When I hear it's on the edge of like that, my brain is telling me there's something wrong, whereas actually it's kind of what it's supposed to be to get the muscles right. Do you know what I mean? It's I can feel that I'm working to kind of keep it like that, and
there's always somebody in the audience that's not qualified telling you that it's wrong. Okay, yeah. So be careful with the inner voice when you're doing vocal techniques, things that are sort of new, or you're doing it, but it's still you sort of getting into it a little bit. Totally normal and common. Students often think I'm doing it wrong. They make a conclusion I'm doing it wrong when in fact they're doing it exactly correctly. And also related to that conversation is just because when you do it, it's not a beautiful sonorous vowel. Just because when you're doing it, it might actually aesthetically be ugly. Like these Quack and release onsets are sort of ugly. That doesn't mean that it's wrong. If it sounds ugly in a training context with certain workouts, that doesn't mean it's wrong or you're doing something wrong. It actually sometimes, in the case of the Quack and release onset, it means you're actually doing it right. The uglier that compression, the better for the point of this particular compression technique, right? Okay, so be careful about the inner voice. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have an outer voice as well, because one of the guys I sing with, some of the harmonies I do are really high. Like we do a couple of Beatles songs with Paul McCartney sort of singing some of these really high harmonies, which I think sound good. And when I hear videos of what we've sung, I try and make my voice blend with his, and it sounds good. But he's always telling me, "Oh, you need to sing that in falsetto," because he sings a lot in a kind of falsetto voice. And I said, I don't want to sing in falsetto. You know, I think I can do it without singing in falsetto if I control it. And so he keeps saying to me, "Oh yeah, sing in falsetto. You know, otherwise you're going to be singing like that." And I said, "I'm not singing like that."
Yeah, okay, good for you. Good for you. Yeah. You sound like my student.
I don't do a bit in teaching, he says to me. And I said, well, I've got a pretty good coach. So I'm going to go with what he says.
If he tries, so yeah, you get it, right? Okay, falsetto's a fallback position for a lot of people, not always, but for a lot of people, falsetto's a fallback position when you can't do anything else. When you can't compress in the head voice, you're the falsetto guy, all right? Yeah. But when you take lessons, you learn from somebody that can teach you how to like do something else above the bridge, okay? In a sense, your reply was, well, I don't need to do falsetto. I can do something else, and that's what I've been working on with my customer or with my coach. Now, all things being equal, falsetto versus full voice, if you can do both, say someone like myself, I think most times, I'd say 9 out of 10 times, I want to go with the adducted sound color. I want to go with the compressed sound color. I want to go with real sound color, not the sound color of hot, windy air. You know,
you got to do it in effect. You know, like that does happen sometimes in a melody. People throw in a couple of falsetto notes for effect, and to be able to do that is obviously really cool. But to just use it constantly when you're singing higher, to me, well, as you've taught me, you know, is nonsense.
Yeah, it's just really there's something else going on there. And no offense to folks, they should take lessons, but I'm just saying oftentimes it's just you're an advocate for falsetto really because let's be honest, that's the only vocal mode you can phonate above the bridge. Okay? Yeah. So no, go all things being equal, generally speaking, a compressed sound is going to be better than a windy sound. And you're absolutely right. Windy sounds are an effect. In fact, in my course, it sits in a module called Vocal Effects, Singing Windy. Okay? And we need the vocal folds to adduct to create real sound energy, to create real energy to amplify a real resonant space. All right? Yeah. So in some sense, I like to think, I've always thought that a compressed configuration actually gives you real product, real data, a real sound. Where a whinny position, yes, it makes sound, but it's weak data. It's leaning towards, we're hearing something, but on the spectrum of no sound, like complete silence, and a lot of sound, it's leaning. It's like sitting right here, like it's moving in the direction of literally no sound. All right.
Yeah.
So I know you get it. I know you're probably agreeing with me. Let's keep going. We're in the good stuff now. Yay! Great. Now that we're in the head voice, think about anchoring that larynx a little bit so we can bring back some warmth. Okay. Next note. Okay, things get a little more complex up here in Oz. Let me just help you a little bit. You're doing great. I'm giving you an A. All right. Now up here in the head voice, you're holding on to that compression just like I asked you to do. But in the head voice, in this new weird environment, it's resulting in the sound color in the vowel actually pulling through the quackiness. So we're getting quackiness in the vowel, in the product, the end product, which we don't want. So you're going to compress, release, amplify the vowel, and then I want you to just sort of make some adjustments, tune that vowel a little bit for a few seconds, and I think that try to just throttle back just a little bit, not too much. We're not going to falsetto. Throttle back just a touch on the compression, get the larynx down, and try to reshape it. Okay. Here we go. It's a little trickier, but you can do this.
I'll try the F sharp again.
Yep. Couple of times. Let's play with that. Get your relax, and sit the larynx down. Relax and sit the larynx down.
Okay, I'll stay on that note, I think.
Yep. F sharp. A little better.
A little bit, yeah. I can feel what I need to do, but I'm not quite doing it. Try again.
Still a little too much compression there, but it is better, and I know that you get it.
Yeah. I think I'm partly sort of afraid of letting go of it too much because this is my problem area around this kind of E, F sharp. And, you know, it's the one that...
Yes, F and F sharp is everybody's problem area. Right? I've always said the most difficult note to sing for men, for most men, it isn't G sharp 4. It's not the B flat. It's not just because it's not the high note where things seem important. No. It's down here where the coordination of the musculature and the mechanism gets really wonky and stuff. So actually, I've always thought that F sharp 4 is the most difficult note to sing.
Yeah, that's what I've picked.
Yeah, it's a fucker plus, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty good. I want to work with the vowel. So we're going to get the larynx down. Sometimes we can get the larynx down just by thinking larynx down, working on just thinking about it in the context of a mechanical movement. That works sometimes. But another thing that we can do is, since we know that the physiology follows the vowel, we can retune the vowel a little bit. So let's go. Let's retune this. We have a, and a, and a, and You have a form of tuning with 3 primary colors. If you add a little bit of ishness in there, it'll make the larynx sit, hopefully. Here we go. God bless me. Let me try. and ah. You put them together and you get yeah. That's the color I want you to match. Match that color.
Eggs and ants.
Yeah, eggs, ants, and eggs, ants. Put ants in your eggs. With should. All right. Should put ants in your eggs. You should put ants in your eggs. It's stupid voice teacher stuff. All right, so let's get past it. Let's get to the G. Same thing. Love the compression, love the workflow, love the cry mode. It's all there except for the larynx at this point, which is a whole other issue we haven't really been working on. Try to get that larynx down.
I know, perhaps if we get time, I wanted to ask you about the other workflows, because a lot of that is about dampening the larynx. And I was trying, perhaps this is connected, because I was sort of struggling with dampening my larynx, staying in cry mode. And I'm thinking cry mode is really about compression, and then the dampening the larynx is about kind of, you sort of trying to compress and sort of let go at the same time and find that kind of balance. And I was doing all the workouts with your video, sort of listening to you doing it and singing it with you. It sounded okay to me, but I was at this thing of, am I doing it right? Is it? It kind of felt okay, but I didn't know whether I was getting the right combination of dampening my larynx, but also sort of staying in cry mode.
So I think we need to stop on the quack and release and move on.
Okay.
We could keep going on. That was great. This was really just fantastic. So I pretty much call that a success. All right, let's do dampen and release, which is the whole point to get the larynx down. Can we try that, please? We're going to roll all the way back. Go back to say a low G and pop it off some plosives, please. And we're going for something warm, right?
Okay.
All right, cool.